Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Cheated and Became Red Dragon of Remnant Part 3. Before we start, please go support ZBX6779 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Part 9. Found you. In the DXD verse, Lady Yasaka has been notified of Issei's situation. She's devastated to the point her control over the ley lines in Kyoto was nearly lost. Every yokai including her daughter are concerned. They go check on her and see that she's extremely upset. How no? Mother, what upset you? She's really worried. Isaka. Sweetie, sniff, mother has some tough news. How no? What is it? Isaka. Issei was hurt deep inside recently. How no? Big brother, where is he? Maybe I can cheer him up. Isaka. He's not around, he's in a different world. How no? What? I don't understand. Is he dead? Tears welled up in her eyes. It hurt everyone to see both mother and daughter cry. Isaka. No, he's alive. He's in a different dimension by choice, he went through too much so he's on vacation of sorts. How no? Sniff, he didn't say goodbye. Office. I'm sorry, little one. Isaka's eyes widen after seeing Office appear. How no? Who are you? Office. I'm Office. Issei's friend. How no? Do you know where he is? Office. Yes. He's in a different world. He's trying to get better. How no? Why didn't he say goodbye? Office. He didn't want to hurt you by saying goodbye. He feared that if he did then you might think he's leaving for good. How no? Sniff, I don't really get it, but I hope he comes back soon. Office. Once he heals, I'm sure he'll come back. How no hugs Office and they stay like that for a while. When Vali found out, he confronted Office. Vali. Office, either you bring him back or send me there, I'm going to kill that coward. Office got angry and flicked his head. He was sent flying through the air and skipped on the dirt like a stone on water. Office. Your first mistake is demanding anything from me, and your second one is wanting to kill my friend. I don't want to hurt a fellow dragon, but I will if I must. Know your place, Lucifer. Vali struggles to get up but manages. Ollie. Why did he run? Office. He had no other choice. Ollie. What? Office. No point in telling you, you're not the type to show sympathy. He does have a message for you. Ollie. What did he say? Office. The rivalry is over. Feel however you want about it. He is now really angry. Ollie. Albion, can you convince her to tell us where Hayato is? Albion. I doubt it. Office made up her mind. Ollie. That bitch. Office. He plans to return when he's ready. Ollie. He better or I'm coming after him. Office tapped him on the head and he went straight down with great force. Office. I fear I may have given you brain damage, oh well. You weren't that smart to begin with, so no difference is made. Farewell. She disappears. The rest of Vali's team found out what Office did. They couldn't believe it, so they went to talk to her. She confirmed the information and then they asked why she did it. She told them what had happened. Kuroka really liked Issei and asked her to let her see Kaneko. She obliged. The 11 are still in their cells. Kuroka marched right into Kaneko's cell and faced her. Kaneko? Kuroka. Did you do it? Cheat on him? Her question made the women cry, including Kaneko. Kuroka was getting more anxious by the second. Kuroka. Tell me, Shirin, did you do it? Kaneko. Sniff, why? Yes. Slap. Kuroka. I've never been so disappointed in you until now, how could you? Kaneko. It was an accident. Kuroka. Cheating is a choice, never an accident. Were you drinking too? She nods. Kuroka. Drinking and cheating on the one man who changed our lives for the better. Sniff, why did you lead him on all this time only to hurt him? Zenobia. We didn't mean to. Roswis. We love him too. Kuroka. Bullshit. Kaneko flinched at her outburst. Kuroka. Sniff, if none of you truly loved him then why toy with him like that? He was in love with you all, you could have just told him no from the start. I'm in love with him, I wanted to confess and be with him if he wanted. Sniff, now he's gone and we may never see him again. They all started to cry. Kuroka. Lady Asaka, her daughter and all of Kyoto weeps. Do you have any idea how important and loved he is by nearly everyone who knows about him? Even Office misses him. She feels genuine emotions for the first time in her eternal life, all thanks to him. She wiped out the terrorists for him because he's a friend. Sniff, Office won't let anyone see him or tell us where he is. I can't see the love of my life because you all betrayed him. He couldn't even say goodbye in person. You all deserve to be here, and what Office did to you, I'm disgusted by all of you, including you, Shirin. She basically ran out and started crying. She slows down, then breaks down completely. Arthur, La Fei and Biku comfort her the best they can. Irina misses Issei dearly. She spends time with his parents and ignores Asia. She couldn't even look at her. One morning she goes to the local park and sees Vali sitting there. Irina. If you're looking for Issei. Ollie. I know he's not in our dimension. Office told me I'm not here to fight. Irina sits next to him. Irina. Then why are you here? Ollie. I don't know. Irina. Ollie. What are the three factions doing since the Chaos Brigade is gone? Irina. Missing him. Ollie. Sorry about trying to kill you all. Irina. Ollie. Take care of his family and yourselves. He got up, but Irina grabbed his hand. She made him sit back down. Irina. Volley. If you try anything. Ollie. I won't because there's nothing left. My rivalry was the only thing that I had, now he's gone and there might not be another Red Dragon Emperor. Irina. He's not dead. Ollie. Feels like he is, the world seems dull now. Irina. You miss him, don't you? Ollie. HMP. Irina let out a small chuckle, then a few tears. Irina. I miss him too. He tried to get up but she didn't let go. Irina. Please stay. Just a little longer. 18. Ollie. Sure, not like I have anything better to do. Irina. Thanks. Volley sniffed. Ollie. Sure, no problem. In Remnant. For the next 6 months. Ruby and Yang train together and go through their books to make sure they don't get left behind. They NPR trained, worked and enjoyed their time together. Pura tried to use ice, wind and earth magic and did exactly that. She taught herself different combinations, for example, when uses wind to create a small twister in her hands and added earth for heavy hits. The rocks flying at over 100 miles per hour are dangerous. Ice wind would freeze and cut down the opponents. A fire twister would burn. Osmond would watch and help her along with her team. Weiss is a rising star in Atlas. She and Winter are evenly matched. Weiss learned to do exactly what Drake envisioned. Armored summons. She took down different Grimm such as Nevermore's, Beowulf, Saber's saber-toothed tiger Grimm etc. to add to her arsenal. However, her ever-increasing skills and power made the other students hate her, but she didn't care. She has her sister and her friends from Beacon supporting her. None of the students dare try to mess with her cause. They know that she can take them down. Ironwood already considers her a candidate for the Ace Ops one day. She's cooperative, open-minded, a team player, level-headed etc. The complete opposite of what she was nearly a year ago. Ironwood feels more and more relieved that he took Issei's deal. Not only is he a powerful ally, but Weiss also plans to join the military one day. He investigated Jacques' mining operations and found every violation in the book. He was arrested and his now ex-wife Willow took over. The Faunus were compensated. They still choose to work in the mines, and she made sure it was under the best conditions. It improved efficiency and production to the point where she recovered the money she lost in compensation, and then some. All this happened in just 6 months. Beacon is almost repaired along with Atlas's image. The SDC is now seen more Faunus-friendly, and the controversy around it is subsiding. The NPR wasn't all work and no play. They, along with rwby and Issei, would share photos, videos, current events. Nora made John cosplay. Later Team JNPR moved to Mistral. John's grandparents wanted a change of scenery and the increase of crime in Vale was upsetting them. John's elder sister Saffron, her wife Terracotta Arc and their son Adrian wanted to move to Argus because of a new job Saffron has. Though he could visit and spend time with his nephew and his grandparents, could see their great-grandson before they do. In Menagerie. Issei had learned to fish thanks to the residents of the village. He found it to be an almost serene experience. He would catch some good fish and sell them for some quick cash. Any small wish weren't really valuable, so he would toss them back into the water. Sometimes he would just sit by the water with some beach supplies. It was so clear in the shallow areas, he could almost see the sea life and the corals. Today, he is doing just that. Issei. I've been here for months and I'm still not bored of this. Greg. Why don't you go for a swim? You've got nothing better to do and it would be refreshing. Blake. I hope you know how to swim. Issei. What the? Where did you come from? Blake. I'm naturally stealthy. So, up for a swim? Issei. I'd like that. I'm curious about something. Blake. No, just because I'm a cat Franz doesn't mean I hate the water. Issei. Blake, I'm not Yang. I wasn't going to ask that. Blake. Oh, then what are you curious about? Issei. I'll let you know if I find it. Let's do it. He took off his shirt, revealing his well-toned physique. Blake has been around Issei for months now. She's comfortable around him, and that's why she didn't mind taking off her clothes in front of him. Issei, on the other hand, looked away. Blake. So, what do you think of my swimsuit? It's okay, you don't have to be shy around me. Issei didn't say that he liked it, his smile of approval shows it. Blake smiled back as she knew she had picked the right one. Issei. Ladies first. Blake. Such a gentleman, she teased as she tossed her sun hat onto the sand and jumped into the water. She came back up seconds later. Blake. What are you waiting for? He smirked as he flew up and then dived down. He folded in his wings and grabbed his shorts with one hand. He dived down into the water and a small splash hits Blake in the face. Blake. Hahaha, show off. She immediately felt two arms lift her out of the water and into the air. She heard wings flap and knew that Issei lifted her up. Blake. I say I'll fall. Issei. I've seen you jump off of building. This is far safer than landing on the solid ground, so see you next fall. Blake knew he was about to drop her. Blake. Issei, let's fall in together. He froze, she said fall in, but he misheard her and thought she said fall in love. He immediately came to his senses when he felt Blake shift and swan dive into the water with grace. He saw her wink at him, and he dived down after her. They were high up, so he had time to catch up to her. They hit the water together and started to swim. It was fun for them both. Issei would check the seafloor because he was searching for oysters. If Remnant had oysters, then he would find pearls. He still hasn't seen anything in the fish markets or the jewelry stores he's been around. Blake noticed that he was indeed searching for something, but kind of feeling ignored. They two then came up for air. Blake. Issei, what are you looking for? Issei. Like I said, if I find it, I'll let you know. Blake. Come on, I thought we were having fun together. Issei. Sorry, you're right. Sorry for ignoring you. I'll make it up to you. Blake. Oh. How do you plan on that? Issei. He dove down quickly and she couldn't see him. The water is darker because they are a bit further out now. Blake. Issei. She saw a green flash in the water below her. Blake. Huh. She then feels two arms wrap around her, one is a normal arm and the other is metallic. She knows it's him and he's straddling her, but she didn't mind it. She actually kind of liked it. His gentle hands that had saved her are embracing her. Issei. Here's how I'm going to make it up to you. He spreads his wings and they take off. They didn't fly up. They stayed just inches above the water. Blake could see her reflection and she touched the water as it flew above it. This is like flying in a dream. She's flown in his arms before, but this feels different, feels better. She felt special and happy around him. She held onto his arms and felt the air on her skin and hair. Issei would slowly turn back to the shore. The salty sea air had dried their bodies and hair. Upon reaching the shore, he set her down gently. A part of her didn't want it to end, but eventually, all good things do. Issei. Had fun. Blake. More than I thought I would, thank you. Issei. What are friends for? She didn't show it, but it was a little tough for her when she heard him say that they are friends. She knows that he's hurt and put her feelings aside for his sake. Blake. Well, still. Thank you. See you back at the house. I've got a book to finish reading. Issei. I've already read the one you're reading, Dr. Drake Rammer has. Blake. Don't. You. Dare. Spoil. It. Issei. Haha. Blake. PFT haha alright, see you at the dinner table. It's my turn to cook tonight. Issei. Alright. I'll see you later. She smiled, picked up her hat and clothes and left right after. Issei tooled back into the water and jumped in. He looked around for oysters and after searching for a bit, he finally found one. He picked it up and came up for air. He used the gauntlet's claws to pry it open and he found what he had hoped to find. Pearls, but not just any pearls, black pearls. Issei. Such a beauty. Greg. Aye, that she is. Issei. I'm talking about the pearl. Greg. I'm not and you know she's. Issei. Drake please. Greg. Alright then Issei, do as you see fit. Issei knows what Drake is talking about and he feels bad for ignoring Blake earlier. He got out of the water, dried himself off using a towel. He put on his shirt and packed his things. He went to the Belladonna home where he continues to stay. He put his stuff in his room and went to find Blake. He knocked on her bedroom door. Blake. Come in. He opened the door and entered. Blake is sitting on her bed, wearing a bathrobe, and her hair is wrapped in a towel. Issei. I found it. Blake. Found what? Issei. This. He shows her the pearl. Blake. What is that? Issei. It's called a pearl, and black ones are rare. They are usually used in jewelry and can be valuable where I'm from. Take it. He handed it over to her and she felt it. It had a shiny and smooth surface to the touch. Blake. It's beautiful. Issei. This is what I was looking for. I want you to have it. You and your family have welcomed me into your home. This is a way of saying thank you, although one pearl isn't enough to repaying you or your parents for letting me stay. Blake. Issei I don't know what to say but you found this ... it's yours. Issei. What am I going to do with it? Black is more your color. I'm sure you can keep it as a decor piece. Well, see you later. I'm going with the chief on the usual inspection of the village. He quickly left the room. Blake knows he's dodging anything related to feelings and relationships, but right now, she let it be. She's happy that he's thinking about her among other things, it's how he shows his appreciation. She looks at the black pearl and then towards her dresser. She walked over to it, she sees a transparent ring box. She took out the ring and replaced it with the pearl. She placed the ring in about box. She kept the pearl somewhere safe in her room. Blake. You really are a one-of-a-kind guy, Issei. But Issei and Gira. The two had walked around the village. Issei had adapted to the humble lifestyle and routine really quickly. It has a relaxing atmosphere at night. It was quiet and peaceful. He needed that and it helped him. Nothing new in the village and no grim sightings. As time went by, Gira wanted to see if Issei was enjoying himself. He cares for him not only because he protected his daughter, but he took down Adam and didn't make a move on her. Gira. So Issei, what do you think of our home? Issei. It's beautiful, sir. This village is the perfect description of the word home. Gira. Glad you like it, Issei. Tell me what Adam did to Blake and what you did to him. It's been some time now, so I think it's safe to talk about it. Issei. Well, he planned the attack along with a few others named Cinderfall, Emerald Sustrai, Mercury Black and possibly others in the shadows. They planned to attack Beacon and hacked Atlas robotic forces. They somehow even got Grim to attack us. Adam found Blake during the battle, she fought hard, he stabbed her, and she was bleeding. Her teammates Yang and Ruby found her just before he could kill her. They distracted him long enough for me to get there. They took Blake to a friend whose semblance can amplify one's aura and heal injuries faster. She lost some blood, so they took her to the hospital immediately after she was in less danger. After that I fought Adam. Gira. Go on. Issei. I toyed with him and then I broke him. His body and mind will never recover. I'm not sure if I went too far or not far enough for what he did to not just Blake, but many before. Gira. What did you do to him? Issei. Broken arms, jaw, skull broken beyond full repair. I used him as a bargaining chip and told the White Fang to go back or he pays the price. They didn't listen and they shot at me, they missed, but 2 bullets hit Adam, one in the shoulder and one in the knee. I broke off his horns and basically turned him human. The thing he hates the most. I crippled him. Gira. Issei. I understand if you're disturbed by it. Gira. I'm not disturbed. I'm happy. Issei. After what I did to a fella Fronis. Gira. He stopped being one of us the moment he hurt Blake. Thank you for making sure he never does that again. A part of me wants to hang the horns as decorative pieces over the fireplace. Do you have them? Issei. Sorry, Chief. Afraid I don't. I couldn't stand the sight of them, just reminded me of my brutality. I went down to his level. Gira. People like him don't learn by any other means. Issei, I want to thank you for what you did. Issei. Why? After what I did. Gira. You saved my daughter and took down a corrupt leader. If I had the chance I would have murdered him for what he did to Blake. You saved me for the dark side of vengeance, that is if he didn't kill me first. As much as I hate him, I have to admit he's very strong. Just then Issei remembered saving Kiba from a dark fate, saving someone who betrayed him. Divided, he clutches his head and takes deep breaths. Gira realized he brought back a memory with his words, but he questioned why doing a good thing would cause him pain. He put his hand on Issei's shoulder and he calms down. One more deep breath and he's okay. Gira. It seems I involuntarily triggered a memory you don't want. I'm sorry. Issei. No need to apologize. I'm okay. Thank you for your concern. Gira. Glad you're okay now. So do you like my daughter? Issei. As a friend and teammate, sir. Gira. I see. Blake is right about your cooking. You shared your sushi with the locals and now we have a new culinary art. You trained with the next generation of protectors as well. Never a dull moment for the past half year. Issei. It's been almost 6 months already. During the nights when he can't sleep he goes out for a walk, smokes a cigarette or two. The burning end is the only dim light source in the beach, he always smoked it there, the waves washed away the ashes each time. Blake would notice this from time to time, he would sing in a low voice in the dead of night. Blake could hear him singing a sad song because she followed him. Tonight is one of those nights. He can see the reflection of the broken moon in the water, like a mirror. Issei. Mirror, tell me something, tell me who's the loneliest of all. Mirror, what's inside of me? Tell me, can the heart be turned to stone? Mirror, mirror, what's behind you? Save me from the things I see. I can keep it from the world, why won't you let me hide from me? Mirror, mirror, tell me something, who's the loneliest of all? Sniff. He started to cry, she heard him try really hard to muffle them, he inhaled deeply from his cigarette and it was slowly helping. She had enough and approached him, he sensed her presence and calmed himself. Blake. That was beautiful. Issei. Thanks. Blake. You can fight, cook and sing. You are a man of many talents. Issei. Flattery won't work. Honesty will. You can't sleep either. Blake. No. Beacon is almost fixed, soon we have to go back. You were crying just a minute ago. Issei. No. It's just allergies from the hay pile over there. He pointed at the hay pile next to a closed stall. She looked at it then back to him. Blake. Issei, I can tell something is bothering you. Issei. Sigh, we all have our demons. Blake. Enough said. Blake. Best to change topics. Blake. The devil has his demons. Issei. Haha, Yang would have made the same joke. Blake. Even when she isn't here. She is. Sigh. Issei. Yeah, she leaves a lasting impression. Blake. So what did my dad talk to you about the night we came here? Issei. Just what I did to you know who. He showed me around. I earned a fair bit helping the people here. I like doing clean honest work, it feels nice. Blake. So. Issei. We're being watched. Blake. What? Issei. I sense someone hiding behind the bushes. Pretend you didn't notice, there might be others at your parents' house. Blake. Mom and Dad. Issei. Grab my arm tightly. I'm gonna fly us there, but you'll feel the G-force. She nodded. Grabs his arm and flies straight up then to the house. Blake saw the figure come out of hiding and run after them. They reach the house and it's dark. Dark. Weapons ready for anything, they slowly enter. Blake. Mom. Dad. No response. Issei suddenly stood in front of Blake and blocked an attack. The opponent jumped back into the darkness. Blake turned on the lights and saw a girl wearing a grim mask and brown hair tied in a ponytail. Blake. Issei, go find my parents, I'll take care of this one. Issei. Right. He leaves. Blake. Ilia, you know it's over. The opponent, now named Ilia, attacks her. Blake dodges and backflips to the light switch. The crashing sound gets their attention and they see Afronis wearing a hood go through a wall. Gira jumped through the hole in the wall, his claws extended, and he let out a roar. He sees Blake. Gira. Are you alright? Another Afronis holding a dagger comes out of the hole and stabs him in the back. Gira. Blake. Dad. Gira grabbed the Afronis on his back and threw him into the other. Ilia took advantage of Blake being distracted and kicked her. She hit her head on a table as knocked out. One of the hooded Afronis charged at Gira. They cocked their fists and swung, each fist collided with the other and are evenly matched at first, but Gira began to overpower him. The other one took out a dagger and charges at him while letting out a war cry. Gira dodges and is now fighting two of them. One jumps to try to get on top of him, but he grabbed him and threw him at the other. The first one sees Ilia just standing there. First hood. Ilia, what are you doing? Fight. Both hooded Afronis get up, one takes out his dagger and it turns red, it's infused with fire dust. He tries to stab him, but Gira grabs it and fires the fire dust at the other Afronis. He's sent flying into the wall. First hood. Brother. He runs to his brother and sees that he's injured. He gets mad and goes for the kill. Issei jumps out of the wall and tackles the Afronis. He sees Ilia just standing there and Blake now regaining consciousness. Gira. Stop her. Issei. Right. He readies Ascalon and Ilia readies her gun whip. She fired one shot after another, but he blocked them using Ascalon. He grabbed the red katana from his waist and tried to cut her down. She raised her weapon. Issei damaged her weapon and forced her against a pillar. He swings Ascalon. Blake. Issei, no. He misses and cuts the pillar in half. Ilia is scared for her life. She sees the red katana and recognized it. It belonged to Adam. She looks back at Issei and sees his wings and glowing green eyes. The Devil of Beacon is right in front of her. Blake. Please stop. They both look at her. She sheds 2 tears. She didn't want 2 of her friends killing the other. Issei back down and puts his weapons away. Gira takes down the other Afronis and looks back at them. The pillar starts to crack and it spreads to the top. A large piece of the support beam starts to fall on her. Gira immediately tries to save her. He stops the large beam, but it's too heavy. His wound is just making it more difficult. Issei. Promote to Rook. He runs up right next to Gira and lifts the beam with ease. Even Gira is impressed as the burden is lifted. He fell to his knees. One of the Faunas got up. Faunus. You ruined everything. He picked up his dagger and went to kill Gira. Blake used her ribbon to grab her father and pulled him to safety. The Faunus fell right where Gira was a second ago, right under the beam. Issei squeezed his hand and the beam broke apart. Shards and splinters fly. One of the halves landed on the Faunus and pinned him to the floor. The other Faunus got up again and tried to run. Issei threw the other half beam at him and it hit him hard enough to send him flying out the door. The noise woke up the neighbors and they saw the house on fire. Issei. Are you alright, sir? Gira. I'll be alright, wait. Where's my wife? Polly casually walks through a different door while dragging an unconscious bat Faunus. They then all face Ilia, but her eyes are on Issei, who casually lifted a massive support beam and broke it in half by simply squeezing his hand. Ilia. I surrender. Issei. Smart, Ilia, right. She nods. Issei. You're Blake's friend, so I won't do anything to hurt you for now. Blake, stop her if she tries to run. Blake. What are you going to do? Issei. Help the chief. Boost. He places his hand on Gira's back and transfers the power. His aura amplified and started to heal his injury. Polly. What? Gira. How did you do that? Issei. It's my semblance. Focus your aura on the wound. It'll heal faster. Gira focused his aura and the wound was healing faster and faster. In under a minute it healed. Gira. Wow, thank you, Issei. Issei. No problem. He throws ice dust into the fire above and it reacts to it. It turns into ice, then water. It rained down and put out the rest of the fire. Chief. One of the villagers comes inside the house. Faunus. Are you alright? We saw the house on fire and saw this guy go flying out the door. He brought the Faunus assailant with him all tied up. Gira. We're alright. Thank you for your concern. He nods and leaves to tell the villagers that everything is alright. Holly. Let's get the other one before the beam crushes him. Issei lifts the beam and pulls the furnace to the side, they tie up the two. Issei slaps one into consciousness. Issei. I'm only going to ask this once, why did you attack the Belladonna family? Honest. Because they betrayed the White Fang and you crippled our leader. Issei. Sai cared to know how he felt. He shuddered. Issei took out Adam's sword and held it to his neck. Issei. Or would you rather feel what he did to other humans and furnace with this blade? He turned pale and made the mistake of looking at Issei. He saw a dragon appear behind him for a second and he passed out. Issei. Weaklings. Blake. Ilia. Ilia. Yes. Blake. Did you guys do this by choice or under orders? Ilia. Both. Blake. Explain who ordered you? Ilia. It was Adam. He got out with someone's help. I don't know whom. Issei. I'm going to kill him this time and whoever helped him. Blake. Count me in too. Issei. We need to keep your family safe. Holly. We can handle ourselves kids. Ira. You two aren't the only ones who can fight. Ilia, do you regret your actions tonight? Ilia. Yes sir. Holly. Then you're gonna be our spy. Ilia. Alright but. What do I tell Adam? Issei. Don't let them know that we're on to them, just that the attack failed. Do you know where he and his new associates are? Ilia. No, they contact us. The White Fang still sees him as their leader. Blake. Issei, he managed to find us, he could find the others. Issei. Warn them. I'll tell Osborn and the general. Holly. You have their personal contact numbers. Issei. Yes. I owe them for helping us. Blake sends a group message and everyone responds, they are on high alert. Issei sends a message to Osborn and Ironwood. Issei. Adam has escaped from prison with the help of some unknown individuals. Osborn. We know, we have reason to believe Cinder, Emerald, Mercury and Neo are behind this. Ironwood. We've noticed a few Grimm here and there, but they are acting differently, it's as if they are searching for something. Their numbers are increasing, other academies are reporting the same thing. Issei. Spying on the enemy. Salem is up to something. Osborn. James, look after Atlas. I need the students to meet up in Mistral. We go to Haven Academy. Issei. Team JNPR is there. They recently heard of a Grimm destroying villages and bandits in the area. Osborn. Miss Rose and Miss Xiaolong are on their way to meet them. Ironwood. I'll send Weiss-Schnee to Mistral. We also have suspicions that Cinder, Emerald, Mercury and Neo have found the Spring Maiden. Get to her first and convince her to help out if you encounter her. Issei. Thank you General, once we get the lamp, we'll come straight to Atlas. I'll hold up my end of our agreement. Ironwood. Thank you. Good luck. Osborn. I'm going to leave Glinda in charge of Beacon. I'm going to help them James. I'm going to do my part. Blake. The others are gearing up. Issei. The general is sending Weiss like she's his #1 assassin or something. Way to go Weiss. Blake. Snickers well she is pretty strong thanks to you and Dreg. Issei. We should get going too. Blake. Mom, Dad. Call us if anything happens. Ira. We'll be alright. Go. The two pack up their things and say farewell. A few days' boat ride was uneventful until they received the message that Weiss is missing. During that time Yang and Pura volunteer to go look for her. Ruby joins John, Ren and Nora. They first went to her last known location, she's made it to Anima, then she traveled from the port to the nearest town. From there she went through a village, and that's when she disappeared. The village was recently destroyed, half the people were dead including Huntsman, the others fled. Yang and Pura got on Yang's motorcycle and rode off, the others went in another direction. Ren started to act differently, and the others noticed, but thought that he's visibly upset about Weiss, who rivals in Aesop suddenly disappearing. They went through a town and found it abandoned. After Tyrion ran off, John used his aura to heal Crow. It turns on that only physical injuries can be healed, his semblance can only delay the effects of venom. Crow needs medical attention, they used whatever they could from the village and made a stretcher. They carried Crow and later found a sign that said, Kroyuri. Mistral. The path to Mistral goes through the hills, Kroyuri is closer. John. We should check Kroyuri and see if there's a doctor there. Ren. No I say we go to Mistral. Ruby. Ren, Uncle Crow needs help. Nora. Guys stop Ren and I will go uphill and see if we can find anyone who can help. If we don't we'll at least know where we are going. You two can check the village. Ruby. Now even Nora is worried more than usual, the air feels different here. John. Good idea Nora. Be careful you two. Ren hugs him. Ren. Likewise. Ruby and John carry Crow to the village, they really wish Issei was here. Ren and Nora go uphill and find a large cave adjacent to the path. Ren and Nora are on high alert and enter the cave, they see a light at the end, so it's more like a tunnel than a cave, but as soon as they reach the end, Ren and Nora see arrows, spears, broken shields and other weapons, some old, some new. Ren then notices all the birds fly away and sees the trees move, but can't see what's making them move. He looks at the littered weapons in the cave next to large hoof prints and a drag mark on each side in the dirt. His eyes widen and Nora is visibly scared. The thing is moving towards the town. It's close. Nora. Ren. No. No, we have to warn the others. They jump off the edge and sprinted towards John, Ruby and Crow. The three reach down and see that it was destroyed years ago. Ruby gets a call from Nora. Ruby? Nora, did you find anything? Nora. Guys, we have to leave now. Ruby? What? John? The call is disconnected. Suddenly there is no service out here. Just then Ren and Nora come out of nowhere. John? What's going on? Ren? We have to leave. Ruby? Ren, you're not making any sense. They felt a tremor. Ren fell onto his knees. Ren? It's too late, it's here. After killing the Grim, Ren felt peace and told his friends that this Grim killed everyone in his village including his parents. He and Nora survived when he unlocked his semblance. They later reached Mistral and got Crow to a doctor. They got a message from Issei and Blake that they aren't too far away. Yang and Pura rode on her bike and stopped by at a bar. They enter and order water. A guy tried to hit on both of them, but Yang just punched him right out the door as any huntress would. The bartender gave them free non-alcoholic drinks as a thank you. He tells them that he's a bandit, he's part of a large group that is far more dangerous than most. They recently robbed a hospital and took a few things. Yang quickly realized that it had to her mother and her tribe, but why the medical supplies? Pura. Yang, your eyes just turned red. Something you want to talk about? Yang. Pura, we're going to make a quick stop. Be ready for anything. She nodded. They go outside and see that the bandit stand up while rubbing his nose, it was bleeding. Bandit. You'll pay for this, do you know who I am? Who my boss is? Yang grabs him by the balls and squeezes them. Bandit. Yeah. Let go you. Yang. If you say anything other than what I want to hear, I'll tear your nuts off, got it? Bandit. Why yes. Yang. Good. Where's your tribe? Bandit. 2 miles south from here, please let go. Yang lets go and pretend punches him, he flinched. Yang. You're gonna come with us. Any funny business then you're dead. Bandit. He. This bimbo seriously thinks she'll live after what she just did, I'll humor her. Bandit. Alright, I'll take you to there. Pura sees vines in the trees and uses them to tie him up. They disarm him of his handgun and put him on the bike. He shows them the way and in a matter of minutes they arrive at a clearing. Bandit. This is it. Pura. There's nothing here. Bandit. It's called camouflage, sweetheart. Ouch. Pura puts her javelin on his crotch and nearly stabs him. Yang is proud of Pura and now worries for John's one-eyed snake. Pura. What are you trying to pull? Yang. Vomit boy, if you upset her then you and your future kids pay the price. Haha. Bandit. Nothing, I'm not trying to do anything wrong. He jumped off the bike and a small blade came flying towards him. It cut the vines and he landed safely. The blade narrowly missed hitting Yang and Pura. A dozen bandits came out of hiding and wielding basic weapons. Bandit. You're screwed now, bitches, haha. Yang and Pura look at each other with a deadpan expression. 30 seconds later. All but the first bandit are down for the count. Yang. A baby nevermore is a better warm-up. Pura. I agree. So who's screwed now, bitch? The bandit is now terrified. Yang pummeled him into submission, which took 3 seconds. He limped towards the camp with the two right behind him. They made it to the camp in a minute and as soon as they did the bandits caught sight of them. Seeing one of their own injured made them grab their weapons and let out battle cries. Yang and Pura ready their weapons. Two bandits throw a few blades at them. Pura used her polarity semblance to send the blades back at them. They grazed the bandits and she sent the blades towards the others. Yang used close combat to take them down one by one. Pura kept half of them occupied by using their own melee weapons against them by simply waving her fingers. Bandit. You won't get our ticket to untold riches. Yang. Any idea what he's talking about? Pura. Nope, let's ask him. She created a small fireball and made it fly around the camp in a random pattern. The bandits looked for cover but couldn't risk taking their eyes off the fireball. They barely dodged it. Some of the tents caught fire. Enough. Yang and Pura looked towards the woman who yelled. She's wearing a grim helmet. Well, I'm surprised to see you here, Yang. Pura. You know her? Yang. She's my biological mother. Raven Branwen. Pura. She's Crow's sister. Raven takes of her helmet. Raven. Yang, so after all this time you've finally decided to visit me. Raven looked smug and spoke with a semi-sarcastic and impressed tone. Yang. You know that I've spent years looking for you. Some of the bandits rushed to put out one of the fires and ignored the rest. Pura. Why is that tent so important? Weapons and ammo most likely. Raven. And you found me. You stayed strong, determined and you've achieved your goal. Well done, but did you and your friend have to be so rough with my men? Yang. I simply wanted to talk, they started to fight. Raven. Well, you certainly finished it. Yang just looked at her. Raven. Right, you've proven yourself. You and your friend can stay the night and I'll answer any questions you might have. I'll even have the cooks whip up something for you. Yang. That's not why we are here. The bandits began to murmur. Raven. What was that? Yang. I'm not here for you. Uncle Crow and Ruby are somewhere in Mistral, he's hurt and I don't know where they are in Mistral. I lost contact but you can get us there. Raven. And how do you expect me to do that? You can find me, so redirect that drive and look for her. Yang. Simple, you can open a portal to Crow. Dad told me how it works. Raven. Tai. Yang. Once you bond with someone, your semblance allows you to create a portal leading right to them. You have one for Dad, Uncle Crow and me. You can save my friend and I a lot of time. Raven. Clap clap, I'm impressed, you got a lot of guts to march in here and demand such a favor from me. But if your sister really is with Crow, then she's a lost cause. Yang. What's that supposed to mean? Raven. You don't want to get mixed up in all this, Yang. Osborn isn't the man you think he is, and your uncle is a fool for trusting him. I would know cause I made the same mistake. Instead of getting wrapped up into something that too big for anyone, consider that you're already where you belong. Yang. You can spout out whatever nonsense you want, I don't care, but nothing will stop me from looking after my family. Raven. HMP. Well, aren't you stubborn? Yang. One of the too few good things I inherited from you. Hurrah. Shots fired. Raven. Come inside. Vernal, let me know if we have any more surprises. The woman with short hair nodded. The three enter her tent. Raven was enjoying tea which was now slightly colder. Raven. So what do you want to know? Yang. Deep inhale. Why are you and your bandits robbing hospitals now? Raven. We're human too, we're not immune to illnesses. Hurrah. Our friend is missing, what do you know about that? Raven. You should know since it's your friend that's missing. You'll have better luck finding her than I. You've gotten stronger, Yang, but not smarter, your friend will be disappointed. Yang. Don't start talking shit. Hurrah. Take it easy, Yang. Raven. Listen to your friend, Yang. They never met you down before. Yang. Eyes turn red. You don't know the first thing about my teammates or about me, you were never there, you left us. Hurrah. Yang, please. Weiss is still out there. Focus. Yang. Sigh, I'm calm. Hurrah. Miss Branwyn, who is Salem? Raven dropped her teacup, it broke on impact. Yang. Raven. How do you know that name? Hurrah. We're the ones asking questions here which you promised to answer. Raven. Sigh, it seems Osborn chose to share a small part of the truth, but only to a select few. Yang, by the looks of it you don't know. Allow me to fill you in. Salem is the biggest threat to all of Remnant, anyone who fought her is dead. She can't be beaten, Osborn dragged you into an unwinnable war. I did warn him, but he chooses to stay by Osborn's side. Yang. We'll deal with it one step at a time. We're not as weak as you think. Raven. Speaking of not being weak, your friend the Devil of Beacon is very strong. Hurrah. How do you know about him? Raven. Just because I'm a bandit doesn't mean I don't know the latest news. He's strong enough to wipe an entire mountain of the map in an instant, not even the maidens are capable of doing that. Hurrah. Yang. Raven. So you do know about the maidens. Yang. Yeah. We know about them too. Raven. Then good luck finding the missing ones. Sit down and have some tea. They hesitate. Raven. Relax, it's not poisoned. I'm drinking from the same batch. Once you two rest up I'll send you to Crow. They sit down, Purra can't shake the feeling that the tent is hiding something important. As Raven was pouring, Purra glanced at Yang. You looked at her. Purra darted her eyes in a certain direction, and Yang nodded. In an instant Purra used wind magic to shoot out of the room, Raven shielded her face, and before she even realized what happened, Purra and Yang are outside and check out the tent. Raven. Oh no. Purra and Yang run into the tent before the bandits could stop her. They see Weiss strapped to a bed with diluted tranquilizer being injected into her via IV bag. She's unconscious as long as the drug is in her system. Yang. Weiss. Raven ran out of her tent and see Yang step out with her semblance activated. Purra removes the needle from Weiss's arm. Purra. Wake up, Weiss. Weiss. Groans. Raven. Calm down, Yang. Yang. You kidnapped my friend. Purra. Yang, we need to get Weiss out of here. She looked back at her friends and then back to her mother. She can handle the tribe, but her too. She knows that she's dangerous, and if Purra helps out then the bandits can take Weiss away. She's considering asking Purra to go all out, but Weiss could get caught in the crossfire. Raven. Yang, I'll make you a deal. I'll let you three go in exchange for your devil friend. He joins us and I'll send you to Crow. I promised to save you once, but I didn't say that I won't hurt you if you hurt my tribe. Yang. GGGRRRRR. Purra. Yang, calm down, she wants you to get angry. Raven. You should listen to the half-maiden. Yang and Purra look at her in shock. Purra. You knew? Raven. I can tell the difference between fire dust and maiden fire power. I told you that I know about a lot of things. Clearly you didn't listen. I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. Fight us, if you last for 5 minutes without your auras breaking, then I'll let you take the Schnee back and send you to the others. If not, then you join us and I'll tell you everything. Purah. Yang, get over here. We need to be smart about this. She goes to her. They enter the tent. Purah texts Issei and Blake their location. After a minute has passed, Raven spoke up. Raven? So what will it be? Fight or join? Purah. We've thought about it, we're outmatched and outnumbered because you're going to fight if we do. Raven. Smart girl after all. You're right about that. Purah. Let us call him. Raven. Alright. Purah calls him, they are stalling for time so Weiss can wake up. Purah. Hey Issei, there's someone who wants to talk to you. Yeah, what? Oh, okay. End call. Raven. Well. Purah. He's on his way. She backed up and creates a stone wall. Raven. So you chose to hide, disappointing. Attack. They start charging towards them when suddenly a figure from above dives straight down and lands on the ground with enough force to send a small shockwave and a dirt flying into the air. The bandits are sent tumbling backwards, they don't see his face, but they do see his wings and 2 swords. Yang and Purah. Issei. Issei. Purah, Yang, it's been Xiao Long. You two okay? They nod. Issei. Good. Leave this to me. Blake appeared in the tent. Blake. Let's wake her up. Yang. Blake. Not so loud. They'll know I'm here. I'll wake her up. Stay on guard. Yang nods. Blake looks around the medical supplies and finds a syringe full of adrenaline. Blake. Sorry about this, Weiss. She puts the needle in her arm and slowly injects it, little by little she's starting to gain consciousness. Issei. So you're Crow's sister. Raven Branwen. Raven. What did he tell you about me? Issei. Not much, but you're the Raven that's been watching us. It wasn't Crow watching us cause he was sitting next to us. Both you and Crow can turn into a Raven and Crow respectively. Are the names sheer coincidence or did you two pick them yourselves? Raven. You can connect the dots. Well done. You'll be an excellent addition to my tribe. Issei. Oh, you're one of those types. You're really underestimating me. Raven. I know you're strong, but you can't go all out with your friends here. Issei. I know, which is why they'll be joining the fight. Yang and Purah come forward. Yang. As angry as I am towards her, Issei, she's still my biological mother. Issei. Alright, I won't hurt her much. Blake. You guys are in trouble now. Haha. The tribe now starts to laugh. Then Weiss walks out weakly. Weiss. Where am I? Issei. You were kidnapped. Weiss. Oh. Issei. New deal, Miss Branwen. If you last for 5 minutes then I'll owe you any one favor. If not then you do us a favor. Raven. You're strong, kid, but you're not fighting the White Fang, Grimmer robots. You're fighting me. Issei. An army of those 3 weren't a challenge. I really hope you live up to the hype. You 3 make sure Weiss stays awake and the bandits don't get to any of you. They nod. Raven. Don't be so cocky, brat. Issei. I'm not you. Raven took out a red katana. Issei took out his and promoted tonight. They begin to clash. Weiss is slowly becoming more and more aware of her surroundings. She can't tell if the sound of metal clashing is her mind playing tricks on her or if it's actually happening. She looks around and sees Issei fighting a woman. Weiss. So this isn't a dream. Yang. Nope. Weiss. Where are the others? Blake. They might be in Mistral, we'll know once the fight ends. Weiss. Issei is holding his own against Raven without even breaking a sweat. Raven on the other hand notices that Issei is holding back. Raven. Are you holding back? Issei. Of course I am, aren't you? Raven. Get serious. Issei. Okie dokie. Boost. He appears in front of her, blade positioned to strike her down. She raised her sword to defend. If she didn't, then her aura would be broken. Issei struck her blade and broke it. She jumped back and looked at her broken sword. Now only the hilt remained. Raven. That was my favorite sword. Issei. Hey, you told me to get serious. You still have little over 4 minutes remaining. Raven. Don't just stand there, attack. Her tribe charged foolishly. Issei. Girls, get down. His 4 friends duck as Issei unleashed a few energy slashes. It hit them and they are down for good this time. Raven. No. Just then a red flame-like energy comes out her eyes, just like Purah's or Cinder's when they use the maiden powers. Issei. You're one of the maidens, whelp, now we know what that favor will be. She created an ice sword and flew towards him. Issei shattered it via energy slash. She was stronger but not enough to beat him or even wound him. She raised her arm and froze Issei's legs. He couldn't move. She flew towards him with the intent to kill. She created a ring of ice around herself. Raven. I hope you enjoy getting impaled. Issei. Been there, done that. Not a fan of it. Yang. What? Weiss. Purah. Blake. Huh. Issei disappeared and appears above Raven. He raised his sword and Raven created one. She blocked his strike at the cost of another shattered ice sword. Issei grabbed his other sword and went for her shoulder. It would have severely wounded her had she not have aura, but she did take a hit. She manipulated the ice shards and sent them to attack Issei from behind. Just when they got close to him, Raven smirked. He smirked back and disappeared from sight. The shards are now on a collision course with Raven. Issei appeared behind her. He out her in a headlock and a blade to her back. He promoted to Rook, and Raven couldn't get away. The shards hit her and drained her aura by more than 50%. Issei's sword pressing into her back was draining it 1% per second. Raven created ice daggers in her hands and tried to stab Issei in the head. He moved his head away, but got a small cut on his cheek. He kicked her behind the knee and made her lose balance. She dropped her daggers as Issei now held the blade to her neck. He grabbed both her arms and pinned her to ground. Issei. I win. Raven. Like hell. She unleashed a burst of freezing air and pushed Issei off of her. She gets up and created dozens of swords made of ice. Raven. The weak perish and the strong survive. Issei. Then you're only alive because Yang doesn't want me to hurt you. Raven. I'll kill you. She spun the sword so fast that she created a large freezing blender. Issei. Dragon shot. He fires off a dragon shot and it hits her defenses. The explosion sent her flying into the trees and broke her aura. Issei. With 3 minutes to spare. You lose. Raven. Kill me. Yang. Mom. Issei. Stop being so dramatic. Why would I kill you? Raven. You beat me, you can lead the tribe, it's our tradition. Issei. Your tradition. Not mine. Look, we don't have time for this. We have to go help the others. Raven. Why try to fight Salem? She can't be beaten, she's an immortal witch who killed everyone who opposed her. Issei. You don't need the relics or the gods to make her submit. You need a devil, so here I am. Raven. What the buck are you talking about? He walks closer to her, eyes glow green, wings already out, and lets out a growl. The world around her disappeared as she saw a red creature appear behind him. It was huge. Raven. Stay away. She stood up and tried to run. As soon as she turned around, Issei was alright in front of her. Issei. Don't even think about it. She stumbled backwards. Yang. Issei, we need to go. Issei. Right. Open a portal and come with us. Raven. Why would I do that? Issei. A good leader will do anything to protect her people. You do care for your tribe since you choose them over your own daughter. Wise. Ouch, hahaha. Yang and Purah look at her, she's still woozy, and lets out a giggle. Issei. You're gonna help us get the relic in Mistral and help your daughter. You owe her that. You have power and you're gonna use it to do something good in your life. Raven. GGRRRRR. He then whispers into her ear. Issei. Look, just help Yang. Once we get the relics, you're free to go back to your tribe. You didn't have to choose one over the other, you could have had both. Issei. Let's go. You can use my sword. Raven. I have a spare, but you'll have to wait for my aura to recover. He boosts once and transfers his power to her. Her aura recovered just enough to use her semblance only once. Raven. So many abilities, are you really a devil? She takes out a sword from the metal sheath on her waist. Raven. Get ready. Yang gets on her bike, Issei seats Weiss right behind her, and Blake sits behind Weiss. She's still woozy, so Blake is making sure she doesn't fall off. Purah is ready for anything and acts as their vanguard. Issei is gonna make sure Raven does as she's told. She swings her sword and a portal appears. Raven. There. Vernal, look after everyone, I'll be back as soon as I can. Vernal is still on the ground but gives her a thumbs up. The 6 of them go through the portal and appear in a balcony. Crow is standing there with bandages around his lower ribs and a glass of whiskey on the rocks in one hand. Crow. What the hell am I looking at? Yang. Long story. Heard you got hurt. Crow. I'm okay. Tyrion attacked us and tried to take Ruby, but he failed after she cut off his tail. Issei. I'd like to hear that story. Are the others okay? Crow. Yeah. They're inside waiting for you lot, never expected to see you here. Raven. Blake. We have a few stories of our own. Crow. Let's go inside. Yang parks her bike somewhere safe. They go inside and they have a happy reunion. The tranquilizer is slowly leaving her system and is now more coherent. They catch up and share what they did and found. When Crow heard that Issei made Raven submit, he downed a few shots of vodka in celebration. Raven got a little offended at that. Later she was on the balcony and so was Issei. He was watching her as he smoked a cigarette. Raven. Got any more? He takes out his pack and she takes one. She puts it in her mouth and touches the end with his lit cigarette. She inhaled and hers lit up. Raven. Thanks. Issei. No problem. Sorry about your sword. It was a nice one. Raven. Puffs out smoke. Yang shows up. Yang. Mind if I join you? Issei. By all means. Yang. Got one for me? Raven. You're too young for that. Yang. I turned 18 last month, Mom. Issei coughs out smoke. Issei. You what? Why didn't you say so? We could have celebrated together. Yang. Birthday parties are not my thing. Raven. Yet you would throw one for your sister every year. Yang. How would you know that? Raven looked away. Issei offered his cigarette, she took it and inhales then calms down. She then hands it back to him. Issei. I'll be over there, you two need to talk. He walks over to the other side and makes sure no one bothers the mother and daughter. He does take out his scroll and tells everyone about the party in a new group chat that Yang isn't a part of. The others scrambled to get a cake, presents and food. Issei wanted to help but he had a job to do. Raven. So happy belated birthday. Yang. Thanks, why did you leave? Raven. It's complicated, Yang. Yang. Then simplify it, I know about the maidens who is Salem. Raven. The biggest threat to anything alive. She's a witch who can control Grimm, create new types and make them evolve even. Her goal is to divide humanity, get the relics and destroy it. Every war and skirmish that happened throughout history she played a hand in it and Osmond sent countless to their deaths by trying to win a war he has lost from the start. Yang. What are the relics? Raven. It seems they didn't tell you much. The relics are 4 objects left by the brother gods. Alone they are dangerous, together the wielder can summon the gods back for judgment or change all of Remnant in any way they see fit. Tell me, Yang. Where is Osmond? Yang. On his way. Raven. Your friend the Fall Maiden including your friend Issei knew of Salem, the maidens and the relics before the rest of you. Yang. Don't try to put doubt in my mind. Raven. How can you trust them after they hid the truth? Yang. How can I trust you? At least they are here when I need them. You just ran, you left Dad and hurt him by doing so, you abandoned us, you know nothing about us or about me. Raven. I'm your mother, I do know you. Yang. Then why didn't you love me enough to say goodbye? Raven. Yang. You didn't love us enough to stay, the tribe raised you, you saw them as your family. Crow told me, you never should have married Dad and had me when you were just going to leave. Sniff, did you ever love any of us? Raven immediately hugs Yang, and she hugged back. Raven. Sniff, I'm sorry, you're right, I was angry at Osmond for lying, it was part of the reason it tore our team apart, your dad doesn't know about Salem, I left for several reasons. Sniff. Osmond lied to us, I felt like I was just a pawn, I saw through his lies. You and your father were innocent, I'm a bandit and have been since I was a child. I tried becoming a huntress and when I saw what we were really up against I ran. It was an unwinnable war. Your father raised you, he later married Summer and had Ruby. You 4 were a family. I didn't belong because fighting was all I knew. I tried being your mother but I was horrible at it. Summer was the perfect mother and wife. You all settled, Crow wanted to be a part of that, but his bad luck semblance made him keep his distance, he stayed on the path of a huntsman and made sure your family along with others stayed safe. Yang. What happened to Summer? Raven. Sniff. Osmond sent her on a mission, I looked for her and found something no one should. I couldn't trust Osmond because of how he used her. Yang. What do you mean? Raven. Do you know why he let Ruby enter Beacon earlier than others? Yang. Because she's skilled. Raven. There's another reason. Her eyes. Yang. What? Raven. Her mother had silver eyes and they have unique ability to destroy Grimm in an instant. Like the maiden powers, they don't require aura, only practice, they are fueled by emotions. Those with silver eyes are called Silver Eyes Warriors, from the start they were the Grimm's true weakness. Salem hunted them into near extinction. Yang. Salem killed Summer. Raven. Worse, I still have nightmares because of it. That's why I told you to stay away from Osmond. All the Academy's headmasters know about Salem, the maidens and the relics. The academies are like fortresses, protecting each relic with an army of trained warriors. Yang. But why distrust Osmond more than anyone else? Raven. It feels like a personal mission for him, as to why. I don't know. Maybe once we get the relic of knowledge. We can find out. Yang. Raven. I know you might not have believed everything I told you, but the relic can confirm what I told you. Yang. Thanks, Mom. Raven. I owe you some answers. Yang. Same for Uncle Crow and Dad. Raven. Yeah, in time. Yang gets a message in the group chat. Yang. Everyone brought dinner, want to join us? Raven. Sigh, sure. They have a genuine hug, Issei smiled with pride. They go inside the hotel room and have dinner together. Their weapons weren't an issue because huntsmen and huntresses, official or in training, are allowed to keep them in public. Raven chose to honor the bet she made with Issei, she lost, so now she owes him a favor which he's cashing in also. Bonding with Yang may be another reason, seeing how Yang just wants her mother to stick around this time. Just when dinner ended, Ruby and the others brought out cake and presents. Yang looked at Issei who was smirking. Yang. You planned this as soon as I told you. Issei. Yup. Yang. Thank you. All of you. Raven opened a portal to Tai and he joined them along with Zwei when Ruby called him about Raven. It was a good time, Raven, Crow and Tai shared a few drinks like the old days. 3 out of 4 members of Team STRQ having fun. Yang just misses her adoptive mother Summer Rose. As the night went on, Ty went back to Patch. Raven and Crow didn't tell him why they are in Mistral, but uses the party as a cover story. Weiss already misses Wei, Blake does too. While they were having fun, Issei went inside and Yang followed without anyone knowing. Yang. Hey, Issei. Yeah. She kissed him on his cheek, it was a quick one, but real too. Yang. Consider that as a thank you for helping out with everything. Issei. Yeah, no problem, but it's not like I did it by myself. Everyone did their part. Issei didn't blush and thought that Yang kissed him because she's just really happy. He did experience that with Riaz, Akeno, Asia and most likely the others. Yang. Yeah. I should thank them too. Issei. Piece of advice, don't go around kissing everyone. Her and Nora would kill you if you touched their men, and Crow would kill those guys since he's so protective of you and Ruby. Yang. Yeah, you're probably right. Ha 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 ha. Issei. Go enjoy your party, I'm gonna get some rest. Osmond said to meet him at Haven Academy tomorrow. Issei sat down and played some music. Yang recognized the song, it's one he played many times before. She sat down next to him and she wanted to sing along. Yang. Want to sing this with me? Issei. Sure thing, birthday girl. Their singing attracted the others' attention. Ruby started recording on her scroll. Raven had to hold her brother back from ruining her daughter's happy moment. Raven. She's just singing along, Crow. Let her have some fun. Crow. Fine. I suppose the dragon can't sing along with the devil just this once. Later Issei and Yang spent all their energy and fell asleep on the couch. Everyone else went to bed. Issei started to toss and turn in his sleep and Yang woke up. Divide. Issei stopped moving and Yang knows that voice. Yang. PSST. Drake. Why do you say divide every now and then? The gem of the boosted gear glowed. Drake. I'm keeping his emotions in check. He has nightmares. Yang. Why and for how long? Drake. For well over a year he went through a lot. He was hurt in every sense of the word. Yang. What happened? Drake. It's not my place to say, Yang. Sorry. Yang. It's okay, we're here for him if he ever wants to talk. Drake. Understood. Get some rest. Yang. Good night, Drake. Drake. Good night, Yang. Part 10. The Lamp. The XD Universe. All the students noticed the orc members disappeared along with Raswa Sensei. Saji is gone too, but Asia and Irina are the ones still attending. Irina spent time with Team Citri, Kadis, Murayama and Aika. Even Motohama and Mitsuda are all good friends now. They were currently alone on the roof. Aika. Irina, I knew it's wrong of me to bring this up, but please tell us what happened to Issei. Where are the orc members? Irina. You have the right to know, so it's not wrong of you to ask. Issei was betrayed by 12 people at the same time. All the girls in the orc except for myself were in a relationship with him. He was in love with them as much as they with him, but recently he found them sleeping in his bed with the guys from the orc, Saji and 2 others. Motohama. No. Hadis. They didn't. Irina. They did, they got drunk and slept with the girls while Issei was out buying a ring for said girls. We was going to propose sniff. Motohama clenched his fists, Mitsuda was red with rage, Kadis and Murayama made the mistake of imagining the sight of such a thing. They felt sick to their core. Aika took out the knife he left for her and looked at it menacingly. Aika. I want to castrate them. Irina. Someone beat you to it. The 5. What? Irina. One of his friends made sure none of them can have kids. Asia was left alone, cause Issei's protective instincts were a little stronger than his rage. Murayama. A part of me wants to tear apart, but Issei wouldn't like that. Irina. Our friend knows where Issei is, she says that he's okay. Asia begged her to let her see him. She shot down her request immediately. Motohama. Good, she doesn't have the right to ask such a thing. Aika. I'm with you in that one. Issei may have been a perv, but now we know that there's so much more to him. A lot of girls did fall for him. As to why they cheated on him, they can't be forgiven. Who are the other 2 guys? Irina. Ravel's elder brother and Ria's cousin. Mitsuda nearly vomits, Motohama gags a lot. The girls look at each other and nearly puke too. Irina. Yeah, I wanted to hurt them too. Aika. How are his parents holding up? Irina. Hanging in there. Murayama. Issei clearly meant a lot to everyone. Irina. I feel selfish for saying this, but I have a huge crush on him. A part of me wishes that I should have confessed before he left, but that wasn't the time or place. He would be too afraid of getting hurt again. Mitsuda. You 2 would have been perfect together. Murayama. I agree. Irina. Thanks. Sniff. At least he said goodbye. Murayama. He came to school that day and said farewell to us. Irina. He did. Hadis. Yeah. Irina. Thanks guys. They have a group hug. Aika, Murayama and Kadis completely ignore Asia from that point on. Whenever anyone asks about where all the orc girls are save for Asia, they simply say one thing. NTR. It was enough to ostracize her. The orc clubroom was now turned into a new teacher's lounge, thanks to Azazel. He too stopped acting too carefree, he was quiet and focused more on his work. Issei's parents would read the letter Issei left along with the card, he wanted them to go enjoy themselves, so they used it to go on a small trip. The house was nothing more than a bad memory for the time being. Asia managed to find an after-school job, the house was empty, so she worked the evening shift at a local grocery store. She only came back to an empty house to have dinner, then go straight to bed. The less time she was awake in that house, the less painful the reminder. She slept in a different bedroom from that point on. Milikus was angry at Riaz and the others for what they did. His mother gave him a knife, and it cheered him up, knowing that Issei thought about him before leaving. Grafia taught him plenty of knife tricks, and he kept that knife sharp. Aono, Yasaka and Kuroka spent time comforting each other. Vali would just wander around with no aim. Arthur and La Fei stayed neutral and live ordinary lives. Serg was no longer a king, and his little brother took over as the head of the Bale clan. The gods accepted their negligence mainly because Office made them accept it. She too saw how she was being used and is now more aware of what's going on around her. In Remnant, Issei started to have nightmares about what he saw that night, betrayal from every lover and brother. He was tossing and turning, Yang was using him as a pillow and woke up, she noticed and whispered into his ear. Yang. It's okay, it's just a bad dream, we're here. He somehow calmed down and took a deep breath. She didn't see his gauntlet but saw that his arm was red. Yang. What the? Where did his gauntlet go and why is his arm all red? Wait. Are those ... scales ... and claws? She checked her scroll and it's just past sunrise. It's just the two of them. She sees his scroll on the table and is tempted to see through his scroll. The quick lace of Issei's old photos with his former team still made her curious but ultimately chose not to look through it. She looked at still sleeping Yang. His hair has grown out, he looks kind of cute but he and Blake seem to be pretty close, I don't know what to do. She then saw something she didn't expect to still be there. Yang. His cut is still there. Didn't his aura heal him? She placed her hand on his cheek and moved her thumb over the cut. Issei's eyes shot open and he grabbed her hand. Yang. Hey Issei, it's just me, it's okay. I'm not trying to hurt you. He comes to his senses and he lets go. Issei. Sorry, you okay? Yang. I would ask you the same thing, but I can see that you're not, your cut didn't heal. Issei is confused but remembers that Raven's ice dagger cut his cheek. Issei. Yeah, I know. Yang. Your aura should have healed that by now. Do you not have aura? Issei. I do, it's just not like everyone else's. Yang. Why don't you let me try? Issei. Smirks, I doubt it'll work but go ahead. She nods, places her left hand on his and tries to see if his aura is alright. Issei. Her hand is soft, wait a minute. He looks at his arm, he accidentally deactivated the gauntlet and his arm is dragon-like, complete with scales and claws. Issei. Yang, wait. It was too late, she was too focused to hear him, her aura manifested and his reacted to it. Yang then saw a glance of Drake sleeping and surrounded by fire. Issei snapped her out of it and she had a cold sweat, his gauntlet appeared. Issei. Yang, hey, it's okay. Breath. Yang. Huff huff. Issei, what was that? Issei. It was nothing to worry about. Forget you saw anything. Yang. You know damn well I can't do that. Issei, I saw a literal dragon sleeping while surrounded by fire, I couldn't even begin to comprehend how strong it is. It's too vivid to be a figment of my imagination. Issei. Sigh, what you saw is real, but you can't tell anyone, they won't understand. Yang. Nor do I. Issei. Yang, please just let it go and don't mention it to anyone. We all have enough to deal with. Yang. About that, Pura and my mom know what's going on, you do too, don't you? About what we're really going up against. Issei. We know to some extent and a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I don't want any unnecessary trouble between any of us by sharing incomplete information. We all find out the truth together. Yang. I understand that. If I was in your position I probably would have done the same. Issei. Glad to hear it. Yang. Issei, are you really a bat, Franus? He spreads his wings. Issei. You know I am. Yang. Your arm is reptilian. You look human yet have bat wings. Can you at least tell me what you are? Issei. What I am isn't important, it's who I am that matters. I'm me. You're you. Yang. I can't tell if you're avoiding the question or giving me a profound answer. Issei. It's a bit of both. Come on, I'll make us pancakes before Nora wakes up. Yang. Where does she put it all when she eats? She never gets fat. Issei. Ooh, that reminds me of what happened 6 months ago, Blake ate too much of my cooking. He then tells her about how Blake thought she got fat after eating too much fish. Yang laughed so loudly that everyone woke up. Blake. Yawn, what are you two laughing about so early in the morning? Yang. Oh ... Kitty loves her fishy ... Blake's ears pointed straight up as she figured out what she meant. Everyone else needed context. Blake took out her weapon and is tempted to cut them both, but doesn't. Blake. There's no point, it's too early to deal with this. Issei. Okay, so let's eat. Everyone has breakfast. Crow, Raven, Ruby and Yang sit together and talk. Raven and Ruby get to know each other. Raven. So you use a side. Ruby. Uncle Crow taught me. Raven. You look just like your mother. Ruby. What was she like? Raven. She was one of the best huntresses and people I've ever met. Crow. Short Stack was really something. Ruby. I remember very little about her. What happened to her? Raven. She went on a mission and never came back. Yang. Ruby doesn't have to know what happened, she may act strong, but I know that when it comes to her she can barely hold it together. Crow. Raven, enough of this morbid atmosphere. Listen Petal, on our way to the academy, we can tell you stories about her and our days in Beacon. Raven. You can tell her about the one in which you wore a skirt to initiation day. Everyone. What? Raven. Oh yeah, we made my brother here wear a skirt as he lost the bet we had. John. What did you bet on? Raven. That he'd wear a skirt if Summer said no to going on a date with him. Ren. That's just cruel. John. Been there but during the dance. Crow. Say what you want, but everyone got to see my damn fine legs. Nora. Muffled laughs. Raven. Then they saw more than that after you were launched off the cliff. Yang. Oh gods, I just got a mental picture. Ruby. Too much information. Everyone else groaned and then laughed. After breakfast they bought train tickets that'll take them to Mistral. Planes can't fly in the cold conditions. On their way there, Crow told Ruby about her mother, how she was one of the most skilled and kind. Raven and Yang spent some time together. Raven started asking herself about why she chose the tribe over her family. Raven. Issei is right, I could have had both. I let my anger guide my actions, and each of them was wrong. Yang is 18 now, and I only watched from a distance. Buck me, it was nice to be a part of a family. On their way to the academy, Raven feels like something is wrong. Raven. Any of you find it strange that Osborn asked you guys to come to Mistral to get the relic before he found the Spring Maiden? Issei. Yup. I didn't even tell him that you're with us or that you're the Spring Maiden. Crow. Did Osborn set us up? Raven. If he did then I'm going to kill him. Issei. I don't think he's the one who's setting us up. He could have done that at any time in Beacon, poisoned our food or something like that since Aura can't heal that very well. Crow. Lionheart. Raven. I'm going to turn into a raven and stay hidden. Yang. You're not gonna run, are you? Raven. No Yang, I'm going to be watching like I always do. Yang. Wait, what? They get to Haven Academy and are greeted by Osborn along with Headmaster Lionheart. Osborn. Glad to you all together and unharmed. Crow. We ran into some trouble but nothing we couldn't handle. Osborn. Never doubted that. Come on in everyone, Headmaster Lionheart is waiting for us. They enter the academy and instead of going to his office they go to the lobby. Hurrah. No students. Osborn. Lionheart sent them to their homes for some reason. Ren. And he didn't tell you why. Osborn. Afraid not. Ruby. We should stay on high alert. Blake. Should we split up? Weiss. No, we have a strong chance of fighting together. Issei. I'm with Weiss on that one. Everyone get ready. Lionheart walks in. Lionheart. Greetings everyone, I'm Headmaster Lionheart and welcome to Haven Academy. Osborn. Lionheart, these are talented students I mentioned. Lionheart sees Crow and Issei, he knows that he's the devil of Beacon. He becomes visibly frightened. Lionheart. Osborn, you didn't tell me that Crow Branwyn and the devil of Beacon would grace us with their presence. Osborn. It must have slipped my mind, but it won't be any trouble. Let's get down to business. Please lead us to the vault. Lionheart. Yes of course, let me go get the key. He leaves in a somewhat hurry. Ren. He's scared. Issei. After seeing Crow and I. He looked like wanted to run away, we're not here to hurt him. Crow. Speak for yourself if he betrays us. Osborn. You're right, I have a bad feeling. He called us here, but I figured he had a good reason. Weiss. Get down. She created his ice wall, but it was destroyed by a fireball. Everyone shielded themselves. Cinder. We got you right where we want you. They look at her, they see her with a grim arm and eye. With Cinder they see Emerald, Mercury, Tyrion and a new guy with a small beard, neck-length hair, clearly hits the gym, and he's got his eyes set on Osborn. Issei. Your arm, that's just gross. Your arm looks like it should be amputated. Dr. John and Dr. Purra, shall we? John. Why yes, we shall. Purra. I'll remember to sear the wound closed. She prepared a fireball in each hand. Tyrion. So Crow Branwyn survived. I'm honestly happy and look, we have Little Red, I've been meaning to pay you back for what you did to my tail. He swings his tail and they see a prosthetic stinger. Osborn. Hazel. He addresses the big guy. Hazel. You're gonna pay for what you did to my sister Gretchen. Osborn. Yang. Ready to lose again. Mercury. Mercury. Sorry cutie but this time I won't hold back. Emerald. So Nikos, how does it feel to be a murderer? Nikos. I let you after I kill the grim bitch next to you. Emerald. Why you? They then hear footsteps come from behind the enemy. It's Raven and she stands beside them. Yang. Mom. Crow. I'm not surprised. Cinder. She has been on our side this whole time. Issei. Deep inhale. Raven, think this through. Boost. Raven. I finally picked a side that's going to win. Boost. Issei. Make your move. Raven. Gladly. She takes out her sword and swings it at Cinder. She dodges quickly, but not enough to avoid getting haircut to half its length. Tyrion tried to sting her, but Ruby shot his tail out of its trajectory. Raven jumped back to Crow and the others. They looked at her in surprise. Cinder. How dare you betray us? Raven. I'm a bandit, what did you expect? A flame-like energy is coming from her eyes. Osmond snickers, as do some of the others. Cinder. You're the Spring Maiden. Emerald. Cinder, we just lost our edge. Cinder. You still have me. Yang. You're not gonna betray us, are you, Mom? Raven. No, I'm doing what I should have done, stick by my family. Issei, you were right, I could have had both. Cinder. GGRRR. Lionheart, get over here. Everyone. He comes back and is brandishing his small shield with a spike coming out of it. Osmond. You joined them. Lionheart. I'm sorry, Osmond. It makes sense to join them, there's no stopping her, I've done things I'm not proud of. I'm not expecting you to forgive me. Crow. She is going to kill you eventually, you could have gone down fighting like a real man. Lionheart. I did what I had to. Osmond. No, you did what you wanted to, you coward. Hazel. You would know, Osmond. Mercury. Can we just get this over with? Issei. For once I agree with the enemy. Issei promotes to Queen, Hazel attacks Osmond. John, Purra and Raven attack Cinder. Crow and Issei fight Tyrion outside. Rwby fight Emerald and Mercury, Ren and Nora fight Lionheart. Lionheart was slowly losing. Issei and Crow give Tyrion a real challenge this time. Purra, John and Raven kick Cinder's ass. She trained, but so did they. Emerald and Mercury were barely managing against Team rwby, even with her illusion semblance. Osmond may be middle-aged, but he shows that he still has skill in combat, efficient strikes with minimal energy wasted, but Hazel took out shards of dust and pierced his arms with fire and lightning dust. His speed increased, every punch released a fireball. Osmond was in trouble now, he needed help. Hazel landed several powerful hits. Nora saw this and went to help. Lionheart managed to knock Ren down just enough to try and escape. Weiss saw this and iced the doors shut. Weiss. You're not going anywhere, you coward. Mercury shot a few rounds at Weiss, but Yang got in the way and took the hits. She activated her semblance and punched Mercury on his prosthetic legs. She completely broke his legs. Mercury. My legs, not again. Nora. Hell yeah. Hazel took advantage of her short attention span and grabbed her head. He channels lightning into her. Hazel. Osmond, she's about to become another casualty because you brought her into this. Osmond and Ren smirked. Ren. It's the other way around. Hazel. Huh. He then feels his arm being lifted against his will. It's Nora. The lightning enhanced her to the point where not even Hazel could overpower her. She grabbed his arm and flung him towards Lionheart. Nora. You done goofed. Osmond. His semblance. Huff doesn't allow him to feel pain. Nora readies her hammer. Nora. I don't need him to feel pain, I just need him to stay down. He got up and charged. She slammed the hammer right into his chest and it sent him right out the main entrance. Tyrion manages to hold back Crow and Issei. He used his arms to block both of Issei's swords and his tail to block and attack Crow. Issei had enough of this, stands still and puts his swords away. Tyrion, being a fool, fell for an obvious trap. He was about to cut Issei down, but Issei grabbed his hands, interlocked the fingers and bent his hands backwards. It was starting to hurt. Tyrion. Ouch, let go or I'll shoot. Issei. Your hands are in the way, shot and you'll lose them. Crow pierced his tail and pinned into the ground. Tyrion. AAARRG again with the tail, are two Fronis haters. Issei. Nope, we just hate you. Issei broke his hands and destroyed his weapons. Crow. What does Salem want with my niece? Tyrion. Haha, my queen wants the little silver eyes for a little fun. Issei. What do you mean by that? Tyrion. Why not hand her over and see for yourselves? Ha. Crow pulls the trigger on his weapon and shoots off his tail. He screamed from the pain. Issei let go of Tyrion's hands and shattered it up to his elbows. Issei. People like you turn me into a sadist. You're the sixth one I enjoy hurting. Tyrion. No matter what you do to me, it'll be nothing compared to me failing my mistress. Crow. You already failed her. Tyrion. No, I haven't, I'll bring her the silver-eyed girl, and she also wants you. Issei. Why? Tyrion. You're strong. She wants you to be by her side when she changes the world. I say you should take the deal, but I'm her favorite. Issei. Do you know my nickname? Tyrion. Issei. They call me the devil and they call her the witch. They say that witches worship them, and if that's the case, then she's gonna be my bitch. Tyrion. You son of a. Issei knocked his teeth out and threw him next to Mercury. Crow. Damn. I'm starting to like you now, kid. Issei. Let's go help the others. Pro picks up his weapon and they help the others. Mercury is down, Hazel is getting his butt kicked by Nora, Y summoned a rapier wasp Grim to help her team overwhelm Emerald. Ozpin recovered and helped Ren stop Lionheart from escaping. Cinder despite losing was still putting up a fight every time she using her Grim arm to steal the powers from either Raven or Purah, the other along with John would stop her. Raven was straight up toying with her. Raven. Salem herself is so powerful yet her subordinates are so weak. Cinder. I'm glad you see the power difference Raven. Everyone who heard that voice stopped what they were doing and looked at Cinder. They heard a voice coming from her that wasn't her own. Raven backed away as did the others. Issei. Who are you? You already know my name Devil of Beacon. Ozpin. Salem. On Cinder's arm they see a mouth talking. Salem. Hello there Ozpin, I'm surprised you're actually helping out this time. Did the deaths of those before these few children finally make you take action? I must say you have some interesting students, I might spare them for my entertainment. I should thank you for sending me such a lovely rose. Ruby? Are you talking about my mother? Cinder turns her head towards Ruby and from her grim eye they can tell Salem is watching. Salem? Why yes I am. She was quite the unique specimen Ozpin sent. They all look at her and then to him. Ruby is close to hyperventilating. Ruby? Professor Ozpin, what is she talking about? She's lying. Right. Ozpin? Yes she is. I only informed Team STRQ except for your father about Salem's existence. A seer Grim burst through the door of Lionheart's office and started to glow, everyone's eyes were on it. It released a black mist that took the form of a woman with white skin, red veins, white hair, black eyes with a redder eyes and a black diamond on her forehead. Ozpin. Those markings on her skin. That's new. Salem. Still the liar I've known for centuries. Blake. Centuries. Salem. Long story little kitten. You will make a great pet. Tyrion. Goddess. Salem. You're going to have playmates Tyrion. Tyrion. Hahaha thank you goddess. Salem. I'm currently occupied so return to base, I'll be seeing you too soon young Rose and Devil. Issei. It's not go down like you think it will. Ruby. We're gonna stop you and avenge those you killed. Salem. Your mother said those words to me. She was destined to fail. A rose meant to wither away. Ruby starts hyperventilating, her eyes start to glow and a burst of silver light flashes. Salem. Return to base everyone, you and I are going to have a word Cinder. Salem disappeared and the mist went back inside the seer Grim. Ruby passed out, but Yang caught her. Tyrion. Hahaha looks like our mistress doesn't see you as her favorite anymore. I'm going to enjoy what she does to you. Hahaha. Cinder starts to shake in fear and frustration. Emerald. Cinder. She created a spear and threw it at Tyrion. Emerald pulled Mercury away as the spear impaled Tyrion in the throat. He didn't die right away, but almost wished that he did. He was choking and gargling his own blood. Cinder snapped her fingers and the spear burst into flames. He let out silent scream. The only sounds that were heard are from the fire and his blood sizzling. He then went limp and his crazy eyes now dead. Emerald, Mercury, rwby, JNPR, Lionheart and also Hazel when he walked back in, are deeply disturbed by the sight. Cinder was happy she did that. Cinder. Finally she's gone, I've wanted to do that from the moment I saw you. The Grim started to glow, and it blew up, and a thick dark mist clouded everyone's vision. Cinder could see through that thanks to that grim eye of hers. She grabs her teammates and they escape, but not before aiming a spear at Purah, who saw a slight glow. Cinder threw it, and she barely managed to dodge it. It went straight towards Lionheart and killed him. Cinder. 1 out of 2 isn't so bad. They escaped. Just as they did, Purah and Raven used wind to clear the mist. Cinder, Emerald, Mercury and Hazel are gone. Lionheart is in the corner, Tyrion's dead body right where it was left along with Mercury's metallic legs. Purah. They're gone. John. That's whom we're up against. Yang. Ruby wake up. Crow. Calm down Yang, she just passed out. She'll be okay. Raven. Didn't expect them to kill Tyrion like that. Issei. Can't say I blame them though. They all looked at him, he stares at the body completely unfazed. Ren. You don't seem disturbed after witnessing it. Raven looks into Issei's eyes. Raven. That's cause he's done it before. But for a different reason. Blake. Issei you've killed before. Issei. Yeah that guy hurt someone I used to love I killed him. Ozpin. Sigh sorry everyone. He was supposed to be on our side I'm so angry. Issei. You get used to it. Divide. Raven, Crow and Ozpin look at Issei's gear. He puts his weapons away. Issei. Let's get the relic I'm going to make a call once we do. Half of you should stand by in case they come back. Headmaster, any idea where the vault is? Ozpin. Under that. He points towards the statue in the corner. Issei walks over and Raven follows. Issei punched the statue and broke it in half, the top half turned to pieces while he lifts the bottom half. Sure enough there's a passageway. The two of them go down, there they see the vault. Raven goes to the vault and places her hand on it, the vault opens, and they see a desert. They could feel the heat and sand as soon as they walked in. There is a lamp floating right there only a few yards away on the only rock in sight. Raven. There's no going back. Is there? Issei. No. She gets the lamp while he watches. Once they get the lamp, they start going back up. Issei. So care to explain why you were on their side? Raven. They approached me before you convinced me to join you. I did ruin their plans to some extent. Issei. We're still keeping an eye on you. Raven. I know and I'm okay with that. They meet up with the others, Yang and Crow aren't leaving Ruby's side, John is boosting her aura just in case. Issei calls Ironwood and informs him of the recent events. They cremate Tyrion's body along with Lionheart's. Yang stayed with Ruby as she was placed on a couch in Lionheart's office. In the meantime Osmond tells everyone how the lamp works, Weiss started recording his words for Yang and Ruby to listen to later. Osmond. 2 of the relics have a spirit within, they follow certain rules. For example, the spirit of the lamp can only answer 3 questions every 100 years, anything that happened throughout history, all the way up to current events are known by the spirit but never the future. We shouldn't use one right away, once we get to Atlas, we'll all have to think carefully about what we should ask. We're not gonna be around when the lamp is usable again. Blake. Sir, if the questions are used up and we gather the relics afterwards, would it still be useless? Osmond. I'm honestly not sure. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Issei. Sir, who are the silver-eyed warriors? Osmond. Ah yes, once Miss Rose is awake, I'll explain. It will involve her and once she knows about it, she'll need to learn about her powers. They are the one thing no Grimm is immune to. They all check Lionheart's office, they check his messages, and there are some from anonymous source giving him orders such as shut off the security system, sending students home, distract Osmond so that the others could attack, and the location of all the active huntsmen who are now deceased thanks to Salem's minions. Crow. If Lionheart worked with them, what about Theodore and Shader Jimmy? Osmond. I surely hope not. Betrayal is a heartbreaker. Issei. Welcome to the club. Nora. Who hurt you? Issei. We should get going. Where to next? Osmond. Atlas. It'll take us a few days because we have to go by train. It'll take us through the mountains then straight to the airport in Argus. There isn't one here in Mistral for some reason. Raven. You know that I'll be arrested on sight. Issei. They can only try. Ruby wakes up after an hour, her eyes hurt and so does her head for a while, but it's bearable. They get to the train station and get the tickets, on their way there the train is attacked by Grimm, but nothing they couldn't handle, but one Grimm damaged the links between the last 2 and the middle passenger cars. They just so happened to be the only ones who were in one of those along with one other civilian. Not many people go to Atlas through the mountains. They derailed and are miles away from the nearest city. Luckily no one was hurt. They opened the mangled door and got out. Issei. Welp, now what? Ruby. I suppose we start walking. Staying here is a death wish. Ren. We should get going. There's no signal here so no use calling for help. Issei. I'll fly up and see if there's a town nearby. He flies up and sees dark clouds in the distance. He boosts and enhances his vision, there's a small village a few miles away. He flies down and tells them. Raven could open a portal, but I'll either take her to tire her tribe. Yang checks to see if her bike isn't destroyed and is overjoyed that her bike is okay and starts to pull it alongside them. Excuse me? Can you give this old lady a ride? Then realize that there's a civilian, an elderly woman with optical implants, and carries a cane. Crow. Our apologies ma'am. We'll go to the nearest town. Yang. You can hop on my motorcycle. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yang. It's no trouble at all. The cold winds start to blow, the elderly woman covers herself tighter with her parka, but it's not enough. Issei stood by her side and used his wings as a natural windbreaker. As they walked, it started to snow and the wind picked up speed, Issei's wings were starting to ice up, luckily they made it to a village, but it looked abandoned. They see a small house with a makeshift garage, Yang and Issei park the bike there and take the elderly woman inside. He stretches his wings and shakes off the ice, the other follow. Thank you everyone. John. We're happy to help. Hurrah. Do we wait out the storm? Raven. Yes. The storm is too intense. Issei. Not only can Purra and Raven use their powers to get rid of the storm, but I could do the same. Greg. No need partner, rest. If the storm suddenly disappeared then our location will be known, who knows how many minions work for Salem. Issei. Yeah, that's a good idea. No need to rush it. John. I'm going to check and see if there's any firewood. Ren. I'll help. Weiss. Is it just me or does this place look cleaner than it should for an abandoned village? Blake. There were no signs of any Grimm here. Ren. We'll check things out once the storm blows over. Crow is sitting by the window and sees that there's a full-blown snowstorm, he took out his flask and took a few sips. John and Ren find some firewood in a storage room and put it in the fireplace. Purah ignites it and the fire illuminated the room. Issei spreads his wings and they start to warm up. Issei. Oh, that feels nice. Sorry you had to risk getting your wings frozen. Issei. It's okay, I can handle the cold. I'm Issei and these are my friends. They all introduce themselves. I'm Maria Calavera. Crow chokes on his whiskey. Crow. Cough cough, you're the Grim Reaper. Maria. I used to be. I'm surprised that someone recognized me. Crow. You're a legend. You're the Grim Reaper, my weapon design is inspired by you. He takes out his sword and changes it into a scythe. Maria. Really? I must say that it resembles my old weapon a lot, but I used a dual scythe back in the day. Blake. Forgive us, but we don't know about the Grim Reaper. Crow. Osborn, why aren't you teaching these kids about our living legends? Osborn. There are already so many huntresses and huntsmen who made a name for themselves, we can't remember all of them. No offense, Miss Calavera. Maria. It's quite alright. I've been out of action for decades. Crow. Yeah. You disappeared one day. Maria. Well, how about I tell you a story to pass the time? Nora. Awesome. Maria. Ruby. Sorry for what happened to you. Maria. I'm alive because of it. Till this day I don't know who she referred to as her master, but I do know that they hunted people with silver eyes. Ruby. Like mine. Maria looks at Ruby. Maria. My dear, you have an extraordinary and rare gift. You have silver eyes. Ruby. I know that they are rare, but can someone please tell me why it's such a big deal? Maria. I used to have silver eyes, and those with silver eyes can destroy Grim, no matter how strong and how many they are. Osborn. Your mother had this gift which you inherited. She saved many lives from Grim hordes in an instant. Ruby. How does it work? Maria. You have to use your emotions and memories to trigger the power. It takes practice. Ruby. Can you teach me? Maria. I'm more than happy to, but there's very little I can. Issei. Gonna look around the house and see if we can find something for us to eat and maybe some clues. Raven. I'll help. Weiss. Me too. John. Wait up. They four of them go to the kitchen, they find canned food, uncooked rice, coffee, tea, utensils, running water. The food isn't expired, so they open up the cans and they find beans, peaches, miscellaneous grains. They cook the rice and Issei made rice balls for everyone. It tastes somewhat okay with canned beans. Nora controlled her appetite cause the amount of food is limited. Crow was still feeling like a fanboy deep inside after meeting his idol. Raven found a few books and check out the contents. Raven. These are journals. Sigh, it's getting dark. I'll read them tomorrow morning. Everyone finds a place to sleep, but they sleep in groups. Crow stayed awake and kept watch just in case, but he felt more tired than usual. Crow. I think I drink too much. During the night, Issei woke up and told Crow to sleep and that he'll keep watch next. Crow looked for a place to sleep and found a cellar full of wine, whiskey and scotch. Crow. Scratch my last statement. He grabbed a bottle and walked back to the previous room. Issei was next to the fire. He started and smoked a cigarette. He looked back at Crow, who has a bottle and 2 glasses. He raised them as to ask him if he wanted to drink. He nodded. Crow pours the drinks. Issei. You can't sleep either. Crow. Nope. They have a few drinks in silence until Issei broke it. Issei. You remind me of an old friend. Crow. How so? Issei. He has good luck with the ladies, knows his liquor and carefree at times. Crow. Sounds like he and I would get along. Issei. You two would be best friends. Crow. What's his name? Issei. Oz. Crow. You're shrouded in mystery. Issei. Right back at you. Crow. How did you convince Raven of all people to join us? Issei. I have my methods. He inhaled from his cigarette and the hot ashes fell into his glass of whiskey. It ignited and small blue and yellow flame is visible. Crow. Nice light show but a waste of whiskey. I'm glad you can hold your liquor. Issei. Want to know something funny? Crow. Sure. Issei. This is the first time I actually drank PFFTT, hahaha. Crow. Grim shit, you drink like you've done it before. Issei. It's true. Crow. First timers feel the burn, you showed no reaction. Issei. I'm just built different. He picked up the bottle and drank from it like it was water, within seconds he finished it. Issei. You know, I never could figure out why people drink, it tastes gross. Coffee is the real acquired taste. Crow. To each their own, kid. Back in Mistral. You and Yang seem pretty close. Issei. I'm not interested in dating anyone that includes her, I've been hurt too much already. Crow. You want to talk about it? Issei. I appreciate it, but no. Crow. As you wish. Issei. How can you and Raven turn into birds? Crow. Magic that was given to us by Osborn. He's not just some headmaster. Issei. I figured as much. He knows a lot, too much for a mere headmaster. Crow. Welcome to the world of spies. Issei. Hahaha yeah. Issei threw his ash whiskey into the fire and it turned blue. The next morning, Raven woke up earlier than the others and went to check on Yang. She was asleep with her team by her side. She went to check on Crow and found him passed out with Issei swirling his drink in his glass out of boredom. Raven. Issei. He's a lightweight. Ha. Raven. You're something else. After a while everyone was awake, they saw that the storm was over, eat whatever little breakfast they could, Yang and the others found a big four-wheeled cart, it was damaged, so they started to fix it, albeit sluggishly. Raven then remembered the journal. She picked it up. She started reading and found that it belonged to the residents of the house, latest entry was last month. I feel nothing. No one in town does. We no longer have the will to do anything, I can hardly find the will to write. Whomever is reading this, if you are, then run before it gets you too. You won't notice it at first, that's when they get you. Staying here is a mistake, you have better odds fighting the storm and live to tell the tale. Run. She went to the others and shows them what she's found. Ospen. We need to leave, it feels wrong to be here. Yang. Already working on that. It's mostly fixed, just needs a new wheel and I've modified it so that my bike can pull it. Nora. You alright? Yang. I feel tired. Issei. I see more storm clouds, I feel it too. Issei. This is a different kind of numbing drag. I'm not using divine dividing. Something else is causing this. John. Spread out in teams of 2. Find the wheel. Issei. Ruby, hold the lamp. I'm going to help the others. He hands her the lamp and she takes it. Everyone else spreads out in checkout houses, they find supplies and a wheel, but they found something else. In some houses are the dead residents still in their beds, it's as if they died in their sleep. They ran back to the others, they see Team rwby arguing. Ren. What's going on? Ruby. I messed up. Ospen noticed that the lamp is gone. Ospen. Miss Rose, where is the lamp? Team rwby look at the well near them. Raven facepums. Ruby. Let me go get it. Issei. How did it end up down the well? Blake. For some reason we felt tried hopeless seeing Salem and our heads didn't help. We started arguing. Ruby. I'm going down. It's my fault it's down there, so I'm getting it back. Weiss. We'll go with you. John. Want me to go with you? Blake. No, we got this. We have to do our part. This is our mistake. Hurrah. Call out to us if something goes wrong. Yang. Sure thing. Maria. Raven, may I see the journal? Raven. Here you go. She handed her the journal. Team rwby goes down the well. Crow goes back to the cellar. Team rwby came out of the hatch in the cellar. Weiss threw the alcohol bottles at them and lit them along with the house ablaze. This was the one way they could use to come up, and Weiss sealed it away. They fixed the cart, got on and left. Raven turned into a bird and flew alongside Issei and Purra. Ren, Nora and John sat with the others. Blake. What were those things? Maria. Apathy grim. She still had the journal and shows them an image. Crow. What the hell? John. That's haunting. Maria. According to the journal, and judging by what we felt, they take away one's will to do or feel anything, hence the name. They feed off the victim's hopelessness until the victim loses their will to even breath, a slow death. Crow. John. Well, we're safe now. Nora. Yes, we are. I love the feeling of cold air in my lungs. Ren. You know there's no apathy grim when Nora is back to normal. Everyone laughs, and after an hour of riding they see that the snow is disappearing, they see the city of Argus in the distance. Issei. Argus straight ahead. John. My eldest sister Saffron moved there a while back. Issei. You miss your nephew. John. I missed Adrian the moment he and his mothers moved. Nora. John, will you please let us dress him up this time? Please. John. I will not let my nephew endure the hell I went through, and that's final. Hurrah. John, pretty please. John. Nope, and that's an order. Puppy dog eyes don't affect me when it comes to his well-being. Nora. You have a lot of aura, right? John. Yeah. Why? Nora. Oh, no reason. Ren did a few hand signs, and John's eyes widened. Ren hand signs, run. Weiss. What was that about? John. Ren, you did the world a service. Blake. Can someone explain? Ospen. It's a way men communicate without words, so far no woman alive has understood it, and it shall stay that way. Thank the gods. Every woman stares at him and Issei bursts out laughing, he nearly crashed into a tree. After a few more seconds of going uphill they see Argus. They cheer and head into Argus. John contacts his sister and they go straight to their house, most of them will be staying in a hotel. Team rwby and JNPR stay there and visit. John was super defensive of Adrian when Purra and Nora tried to dress him up. John used his semblance on himself to boost his defense to the point where he could tank both Nora's and Purra's attacks. Eventually they gave up and Adrian stayed with his uncle the whole time with a look of gratitude. Crow, Raven, Maria, Ospen and Issei head to a hotel and book 2 rooms. They agreed to meet up later. As the date passed, Maria, Osmond, Raven and Crow meet up with JNPR, rwby while in town, while Issei stayed in the hotel and guarded the lamp. But Salem and her little goons. Salem. Well Cinder, care to explain what happened at Haven Academy? Cinder. Mistress, we were outnumbered, the Spring Maiden betrayed us. Salem grabbed her by the throat and lifted her. Salem. You fool, I told you to find the Spring Maiden and report back to me, you failed the last part. You lied to the others saying that I ordered them to go to Haven without proper intel on how many opponents are there or how to beat them. You didn't bother to try and convince the Devil of Beacon to join us, you killed Tyrion out of jealousy, and you failed to get the lamp, you lied to me and killed Lionheart too, but at least he did his job better than you did, and he's a coward, what does that say about you? Cinder. Chokes. Emerald wants to save Cinder, but both Hazel and Mercury hold her back. Salem. Just because you don't see a seer Grim doesn't mean I don't know what you're up to. I warned you what would happen if you failed again, it feels like you want to be punished. Very well then. I'll indulge you. She lets her go and snaps her fingers, a bunch of Grim varying in shape and size appear. These don't look like any known Grim though. Cinder. No please. Salem. Have fun my pets. They grab her and take her away, Cinder struggles, she tries to use her powers on them, but in her panic state she can't control it. The Grim take her into a room and doors automatically close. Immediately they hear sounds of clothes being torn. Cinder. No, stop please. Emerald. Cinder. Salem. Make one move or sound, then you'll join her as a Grim breeding tool. Hazel. I'll take her away from here mistress. Salem. Good. Hazel lifts Emerald with light difficulty due to her struggling to get out of his grip. He takes her to the next room and then hugs her. Hazel. Calm down, there's nothing you can do. Emerald. I can save her. Hazel. You can't. She lied to us and we nearly paid the price. We lost Tyrion, we can't lose you too. Emerald stopped struggling and went limp. Cinder was being used as a Grim breeding tool. Salem then looked at Mercury. Salem. Go see Arthur and let me know how are our new recruits doing. Once you're done, bring Emerald to me after she calms down. Mercury. Right away, thank you for saving us. Salem. You're welcome. Do as you're told and you'll be rewarded unlike Cinder. Mercury. Thank you your grace. He bows and walks away, he meets up with Arthur Watts in his lab and saw what awaits the enemies. Mercury. The boss wants to know how the new recruits are doing. Watts. Splendid. They'll be ready by tomorrow. Mercury. Good. He runs out of the lab because he saw something he couldn't imagine until now. He went to check on Emerald who's a sobbing mess, he then went to Salem who was standing by the door that led to room where Cinder is being raped by Grim. Mercury. The new recruits will be ready by tomorrow your grace. Salem. Excellent. Come closer Mercury. He hesitates at first but obeys. She points at Cinder who was bound by the Grim, covered and oozing with some sort of black tar-like fluid. Salem. Would you like to have your way with her? Mercury. Thank you for the offer, but she's not my type. Salem. Is she not woman enough? Mercury. She stopped being anything the moment she betrayed you. You and Emerald are the real ladies. Salem. You're a bit of a flirt. Careful Mercury. Mercury. Forgive me, I was merely stating the truth, you are too good for me. Salem. It's good to know where you stand unlike this breeding tool who found out the hard way. Cinder's every hole was being raped, only giving her a few seconds to take in deep breaths, it's her only relief until the pain sets in again, she's covered in tar-like ooze, Salem, and Mercury can't see every appendage entering her and moving in all directions. Mercury can't handle the sight, but Salem is enjoying it. She walks over to her and extends her hand, Cinder thinks she's going to save her, but just before she could grab her hand, Salem smacks it away, wipes some of the ooze off her body using her finger, and inserts it into her vagina forcefully. Cinder let out a muffled cry as Salem's long nails hurt quite a bit. Salem. You're done when I say you're done. Continue ravaging her until I have results, I don't care how long it takes. She leaves the room and the rape Grim do what they do. Mercury goes to check Emerald and has now calmed down a little. He just sits next to her, there's an empty look in his eyes. Hazel. You saw. Mercury. She made me watch for a few minutes, almost made me join the Grim in doing huff. Gagging, I'm going to be sick. He goes to the bathroom and vomits in the toilet a couple of times. After that he brushed his teeth and drank mouthwash. The alcohol in that helped calm him, he sat with the others in silence. The next day. Watts. They are ready my lady. Salem. Good. Send them to me, I'll make sure they get to Argus, you did me a great service by tracking their messages. Watts. It's my honor. He goes to his lab. Watts. She's waiting for you. Let's go you four. The 5 new recruits go to Salem, she gets up and checks out her newest creations. Salem. Well. Not bad at all. She clings to one of them, he's full of rage. Salem. They mess with the bull, they get the horns. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown in left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.